Coming up on the Interludes podcast, did you know the relationships that you have are so much more important than any algorithm online? Your phone is where your algorithm should live. But for myself, I learned a lot attending a retreat, and I want to tell you all about it. The Interludes podcast with Val the Voice Johnson gets started right about now. The Interludes Podcast,
a Pure Lighthouse production.
This episode is brought to you by PureLighthouseMedia.com, home to the book, A DJ Saved My Life, where the ABCs of podcasting and the personal memoir come together perfectly. If you want to start your podcast journey, schedule a 15-minute call with me, research our podcasting blog tips. It's all on our fully remodeled website today.
And now, all the way from the south side of Chicago, give it up for your host, Val the Voice Johnson.
Welcome to another edition of the Interludes Podcast. I'm your host, Val the Voice Johnson, and come with me for a little bit. Over the last few weeks, I got a chance to participate in some great and wonderful things. Number one, we got a sponsor. That was exciting, number one. And then I participated in the Unlocking Greatness Retreat. I also did a Toastmaster speech for my club. And what did I call it? I called it Relationships Pay Better Than Algorithms. And then also I connected with some phenomenal women at the Unlocking Greatness Retreat and deepened my friendship with a great friend, Carla Braithwaite. You know what I was thinking? We spend a lot of our time chasing likes, comments, the algorithm, all of these things because we are providing content for you to consume. We're grateful for that. I know I am. But is that the right thing to be chasing? Think about that. And I'm thinking about the biggest opportunities that have come to me. A new sponsorship, a speaking opportunity, not just with my Toastmasters, but with the retreat at the same time. The opportunities in life as well as business, they did not come from an algorithm. If you notice, I thanked someone, Carla Braithwaite, and she came to me weeks ago, letting me know about Zinja Glass and how she had this retreat. She said, Val, she's given me the task to do and provide the audio-visual production. It's going to be streaming on Zoom, and I'd love for you to help me with it. I said, fine. But initially I said no, because I haven't done AV production in a minute. But Carla, she is brilliant. She has collected a lot of wonderful, I want to say, mics, cameras, tripods, lighting over the last 30 years that she's been in business providing corporate and editing and production support, not only to herself and other private clients, but to others as well. I had such a wonderful experience working with her on a Christmas play that we shot and I acted in. And we've come together, it seems like almost every year, doing some type of production. Well, now it was time to put everything on display for Zinja and having the conversation with Zinja, she told me, you know what? The people that I mentor and lead, they need help with podcasting. I think you would be great to come and speak to my community during this retreat. And the retreat was the first time her and her members were able to meet in person. How exciting, right? So that's how the sponsorship came about. She said, if you're able to promote the retreat on this platform, I'll go ahead and sponsor an episode. And since I was covering gospel music any old way with my cousin Kendall, if you guys remember, man, oh man, it was phenomenal. And so I want to share a few lessons on what I learned about why relationships will always and still matter, and why developing those are the most valuable lessons we can ever have. So let's do this. Let's get out a pen and paper and check some things out. Lesson number 1, opportunities come through people, not algorithms. Let's see. I want to make sure that I bring this up. When people know, like, and trust you, I've heard this repeatedly at many conferences, especially about leadership and business. They are willing to do business with you, especially if they know you. And for myself and Zinja, I was a fan. 3 years ago, I went to a conference. It's a little greasy now, but I purchased her book, Necessary. She signed it for me. See? For the folks that are listening, I'm showing the book and then I'm showing Zinja's signature in it. And this relationship didn't come about until 3 years later. And the know, like, and trust came through with me dealing with Carla and building a friendship, a real friendship there. But then the business relationship came because we worked on a short film, a play, and there was no payment at all. I didn't require a payment, and she didn't. Carla, I'm talking about Carla, she didn't require a payment from me, and I didn't demand one. I was just happy to be around her brilliance and to be around it again when she circled back and said, Val, I would really love your help. I said, you know what? Let me figure this out. Zinja figured it out, and I thought about this. To be invited as not only the person helping with AV, but to be a speaker and then also a panelist, and then also to provide that technical support. I was also the role of engaging with the Zoom audience. So I was chatting with them as Zinja, because Zinja was at the front of the room running the conference, running the retreat. And so one thing that I thought about, what's interesting is that none of these things, the retreat, the sponsorship, none of it came because of something I posted on social media. No one on social media recommended me. It happened because someone knew me, like Carla. And they thought of me for the opportunity. I had been praying about doing speaking gigs, doing more things in person. As much as I love my home studio, it's time to get out. A lot of people have been getting out. So that's my first lesson, is that opportunities travel through people. Pay attention to that. Lesson 2, your voice matters more than your equipment. I wanted to set up everything really well for the podcasting lab that I did. Zinja, had her VIP guests who stayed for dinner to participate in a podcasting clinic. And I set up my podcast. I set up a laptop, my mic, all of the things that I do at home. And do you know that the sound and the speakers and things weren't working? And I said, A lot of people think I need the perfect camera, I need the perfect microphone, I need the perfect website. And what I learned in the clinic, the one I was teaching on, is all you really need is your phone and the great idea. Producing a podcast comes from you, your core, what you are an expert in, what you love doing. What is that hobby that you are so hyped up about? What is that gift that you can give the world through podcasting? And so Zinja, during the podcasting clinic, had people set up, turn their camera on themselves, and pitch their business to their phone and invited people to follow along. That was one of the best lessons taught by Zinja. And so now I understand why she is the leadership mentor and the author of this phenomenal book called Necessary. I'll be right back and I'll give you my lesson 3 and some of my wrapping up thoughts. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, it's Val the Voice. We interrupt this wonderful episode to ask a question. Are you subscribed and liking this particular episode? Well, we want to make sure that you are following us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel because we want to continue to give you great content just like this. All right, I'm so sorry. Let's get back to the episode right now. Hey, the summer is here. Are you guys getting out? I'm encouraging everybody to go to that concert, outdoors that is, that festival, or do a nice long jog and or ride your bike. Get out and enjoy the summertime. And while you're out, make sure to take the Interludes podcast along with you. We stream on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you stream your podcasts. We want to personally thank you for being a part of the Interludes family.
Hey, I'm Coach Tony, and this is the Pull Up Podcast Show. For every Monday, we break down the game quarter by quarter and give you information as well as break down the culture. Join us on the Pull Up Podcast.
Pull up, it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. Bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. I said bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast.
Welcome back. Oh man. The Unlocking Greatness Retreat. I'm giving you some of the breakdown of some of the things that happened. I'm going to go into 2 more lessons. I said 1, but 2 more lessons. Lesson 3, relationships compound. So I have been building with my Virtually Speaking Toastmasters Club for, I want to say 5 years. Yeah, almost 5 years. And right now I'm serving as the VP of Education. Ever so often the officers have to make speeches because we're following the classroom, the virtual classroom called Pathways for Toastmasters International. So I said, well, let me pick a speech that I'll do. And I thought, why don't you speak on getting and securing not only a sponsorship, but then the opportunity to speak and how that all came about. And so relationships pay more than algorithms. I think that was my title. Let me confirm my title again. Yes, that's what it was. Relationships pay better than algorithms. And I presented that the night before And at Carla's house, just before we were getting everything packed up and ready to go the day before the retreat. And I was really happy to kind of share what I was doing. And then I'm also a part of a book club with my business cohort, and some of the people that come to the book club every morning says, hey, I want to see what you're doing at Toastmasters. And how ironic that night I was doing the speech. So, do you know people that know, like, and trust you in different areas of your life? There's my business cohort. There's the book club. There's Toastmasters. And I remember sharing all of this, and my evaluator gave me great marks on how I engaged, but then the story that everyone can learn from. And I remember looking at the replay of what we recorded, and I said, wow. So everyone is trying to build relationships and make sure that they're not getting obsessed over how many likes did I get on this post? Did anyone comment? You know, trying to get this outside approval of yourself. That's not necessary. The only entity that I need approval of and from is God. And since I am fearfully and wonderfully made, that's on my band, thanks Speaker T, aka Dr. Anthony D. Shannon, I just needed that reminder that people need and want and desire relationships. Good ones, especially that are developed when you are giving speeches, when you're doing podcasts, when you're doing presentations. Keep in mind, you never know who's looking. Yep, I see you. I see you. And I want to also share what I've learned with my business cohort. We are now renamed the Social Proof Circle. David Shands, who believes everyone should have a podcast, so I do as well. He said that there are 5 key relationship categories that we should be organizing our contacts into: mentors, peers, connectors, investors, and door openers. He broke each and every one of these down. And what was wonderful is that he shared his experience on attracting an investor for his upcoming conference. Huh? And the person didn't wait to send the investment. Just based on the strength of their relationship, the person invested 6 figures into the podcast summit, which is happening in Atlanta in July, if you guys are available to attend. This will be my 2nd year attending, and what's been fun watching David kind of share what he's been learning in the fire of developing and having a thriving business, multiple businesses, as people call him the podcast king extraordinaire. I know I have mentors, and I know I have door openers. And right after he shared this lesson with many of us, I found myself writing down, well, who do I know that's a door opener? Miss Betty Porter. I've known her my whole life, and she was the queen of the PTA at several of the schools I attended in and around the neighborhood. The investors was the thing that I didn't think about. But Zinja Glass became a small business investor by providing a sponsorship. Not only that, but then also an additional gift for everything that was provided during the Unlocking Greatness retreat. That would not have happened if the relationship had not been established through the known relationship of Carla Braithwaite. You got to think about it. Everything goes back. Everything goes back to developing friendships and relationships all over. The peers, I consider Carla a peer, and she is someone I'm going to work with again and again, because not only do I trust her judgment, when we were there sitting behind the laptop and the computers and making sure that the graphics were working for our speakers, that the sound was heard, it felt wonderful to have the cordless microphone and to also serve as the, I like to say, voice in the sky. Zinja had a sponsor with the Unlocking Greatness Retreat, and I had that sponsor write out and text me exactly what she wanted me to say. I had attended a lot of large conferences for my former employers, and I noticed that they had someone announcing, this person is the title sponsor for this conference. Please make sure that you do, and then they give you directions. I did the same thing. And I smiled so brightly when I made that announcement. And a couple of the women came and spoke to me, not only about my voice, but that, yes, we understand now why you're called Val the Voice. You have a beautiful and gifted voice. How wonderful. Relationships are not transactions. Please don't treat your friendships or relationships that way. I have unfortunately have done that before in the past, and I have learned that when I do that, that can ruin friendships or relationships in general. Relationships are assets that appreciate over time. Carla and I met back in 2010 or 2011 at a movie premiere. Our friendship didn't develop until another 10 years later when she relocated and I relocated. And then what ended up happening is that it just bloomed and developed from that. And the longer you invest in people, time, energy, money, the most valuable those connections can become. So, and this brings me to my final lesson. Algorithms change, oh my gosh, almost every day. Character doesn't. What do I mean by that? Recently, I found out that on Instagram, if you edit a reel on Instagram, it's most likely that the algorithm will pick that up faster than a reel that is done on a different platform, let's say Canva, or let's say CapCut. The algorithms in LinkedIn, Facebook change, and it's not necessarily based on likes or comments. It's sometimes based on the time of day that you post. It's always changing. Can you keep up? And I understand why so many people hire social media managers, because they study that. It's like a science. It's like understanding when the moon and the sun rise and fall in the sky. Oh my gosh. So everyone's platforms come and go. The rules change. The reach can change. And then sometimes what could be the talking trend yesterday is something totally different today, or even in 2 hours, or maybe even in seconds. But with all of that change, ladies and gentlemen, character remains, and it should be developed. I am grateful for integrity. I am grateful for understanding that with Zinja, she is a woman of integrity. And when she gave her word after I provided her an invoice, I got paid. Let your yes be yes and let your no be no. I've heard that before. I know it's biblical, and I want to make sure that I follow through and you follow through to do that as well. Service remains, authenticity remains, and the people who continue to grow over decades are usually the people who continue to serve others consistently. And I know that's been my story, as well as Carla's story, as well as Zinja's story, as well as many people's stories. When you continue to show up, it doesn't matter what happens with an algorithm. If you're consistent in showing up in your podcasting space or as a business owner or someone who is a DJ, yes, a DJ, and spinning the wax and making people feel great on the dance floor, whatever that is, the algorithm might make you visible, but your character makes you memorable. Let me say that one more again. The algorithm might make you visible, but your character makes you memorable. So, as I wrap up, I want to challenge you with this one thing. Reach out to someone. The text might be easy, but actually calling someone might be the thing to do. And encourage that someone after you thought about them. Be a connector. Introduce two people who should know each other. And when you're talking with this person, have a real conversation. Find out how they're doing. Don't just listen and then multitask. Your girl is notorious for that. I have a friend of mine who calls me out on it all the time. And I'm like, wait, I'm not multitasking. I'm walking away. Because while algorithms can help us discover relationships, helps us build communities. And the algorithm, as I said, may introduce you to people, but the relationships will sustain you in the long run. And I'm grateful that I made the connection with Zinja Glass. I'm grateful that I made the connection with a few of the women that were a part of the Unlocking Greatness community. And my prayer is that more speaking engagements, more sponsorships, they're coming. Are you ready for the blessings that are going to come through your relationships? I know I am. What about you? Well, this has been fun. I say go out and beat the algorithm by relating to someone today. I'm Val the Voice Johnson, and this is the Interludes Podcast. The Interludes Podcast.
Original concept by Valerie Johnson.
Sports segments for Talk on Tuesdays, produced by Coach Tony Thompson.
Original intro and outro music produced by Kendall Nesbitt.
The Interludes Podcast, a pure Lighthouse production. This episode is brought to you by our brand new website, PureLighthouseMedia.com, the official home of A DJ Saved My Life, where the ABCs of podcasting meet personal transformation. And now available in print. Order your signed copy today and discover how finding your voice can change your life. Are you a business or entrepreneur looking to promote your work through a dynamic podcasting platform? Partner with us through sponsorship and marketing opportunities. Your message belongs in front of our audience. Got that $1 million podcast idea, but don't know where to start? Whether you need a coach, a guide, or a full-on producer, I'm here to walk you through the process and bring your podcast vision to life. Visit PureLighthouseMedia.com today to get your book, book your consultation, or connect with us about sponsorship. Let's grow together.